the leftists want to degrade man's nature or evade man's nature and think of him as less than the animals. Conservatives want to think of him as an animal that needs to be herded by a sort of mother government or a paternalistic type government.
Conservatives have a tendency to be Luddites to some degree, which is to say, oh no, automated trucks are going to make people lose jobs, or oh no, we need to have a minimum wage. That's an idea that even conservatives, supposed conservatives, embrace. Liberals, they embrace all those bad ideas as well as others, like environmentalism. So, Jacob, where do you want to go with these topics?
The leftist variety of anti-human progress or anti-human achievement and the rightist or conservative version of it both have in common the fact that they denigrate the nature of man, or they evade the essential nature of man, and they end up treating man either as an animal or as even less valuable than an animal in the case of a leftist, right? The leftist is talking about the environment and the one species that they always neglect as they express concern for the environment is the human species. That they're more concerned about some random snail or slug than they are about humankind. And they want to sacrifice that which is good for humanity, that which is good for human environment, for the sake of that which is good for the environment of other species. So the leftists want to degrade man's nature or evade man's nature and think of him as less than the animals. Conservatives want to think of him as an animal that needs to be herded by a sort of mother government or a paternalistic type government, by a tribal leader or a group of tribal leaders, and that needs to have their resources, their scarce resources, quote unquote, divvied up among them, like feed for cattle. And we can't let any one cow go too far in consumption because there's only a limited amount of resources, and we all need to just be taken care of in this little tribe, in this little herd. And so they think of us as animals. The reality is, man has a mind, and man survives and lives and thrives through the work of his mind. And that means that wealth for human beings, the things that we need to survive and to thrive, are created in a sort of ex nihilo type fashion from the work of our minds. You don't find a computer sitting in nature. You find the elementary particles that go into making a computer, but the computer itself, or the cell phone, or the automobile, the combustion engine, all of these things are things that are created by man's mind, which wouldn't have existed apart from his mind, which means that it's not a zero-sum situation. It means that at any given point in our economic development, the next step up in technological advancement, even though it might seem, if you take a snapshot, it might seem like it's going to have a negative effect on some people, like truckers. It's not a sum negative. It's a sum positive. If you tried to stop and stagnate the economy at any particular level in order to quote unquote save your job, you're going to stall the whole thing. You are undercutting the nature of man, and you're going to cause mass starvation and mass casualties as a result. You're going to stunt human progress in a very significant way, and it's evil of you, it's subhuman of you to want to do that. And you are viewing yourself and your fellow men as subhuman. In a way, you're blaspheming against God because you are denying the image of God in man.